Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Lindsay and here we are with April, and with this theme I decided to do a Pokemon theme, something that I kind of hold very true and close to my heart because it's something I really grew up with. And I want to give a shout out and say thank you, Emily, for suggesting this theme because I was kind of nervous to do something like this just because it's something I personally grew up with and something that I really love, and I wasn't sure if a lot of people would feel the same way, but at the end of the day it is my bullet journal, so I kind of felt like maybe I should, and I kind of did that. And what's very funny enough is that the other day I was talking to my boyfriend and he let me know that this year is Pokemon's 25th anniversary of actually being a franchise, which I think is really cool. I believe they came out in like 1995, which surprisingly enough, that's the year that I was born. So I remember growing up kind of playing Pokemon here and there. I didn't really get my official, like my own game until maybe Pokemon, I want to say Sapphire or Pokemon Leaf Green. I remember I did get both of them. One of them was for Christmas and the other one I got just randomly at GameStop. My mom was always all about the games, like video games, with me and my brother, and it was just something I really love. And I remember Leaf Green and Sapphire was just something of a staple. I can go back and feel really nostalgic thinking about it. I think I tried to go a little OP with Sapphire because I really tried my hardest to like complete the whole national Pokédex and everything, but like back then wireless links wasn't a thing. Well, it kind of was, but it was kind of expensive, and sometimes you have to buy like those wireless adapters or the cable separate. But I remember that the game that my mom had gotten me actually came with it, so I didn't really find anyone else that could do it with me. But surprisingly enough, as old as I am, I'm 25, I actually still do have Leaf Green and the wireless adapter, but it's now sitting in a collection, which I think is really cool. So if anything, I feel like I rambled a little bit, but we can go back to the actual bullet journal. So I decided to do this theme just because I wanted something that really touched my childhood, but also I wanted something that kind of represents April. And I feel like a lot of people, when they think of April, they do a lot of spring stuff. And personally for me, I feel like I already done enough of, spring. And I wanted to make it more of a fun, quiet aesthetic. I don't know if that makes sense, but pretty much I decided to do the focus of like lanterns and fireflies in more of a like forest setting with Pokemon, because of course you find Pokemon in the wild, and if you're not an OG person when it comes to Pokemon, everyone knows that you took the longest when it came to Viridian Forest. Like, you struggled, especially like the last Pokemon trainer. She really like whooped people's butts because her Pikachu, I believe it was a Pikachu, was like really strong, and I always struggled with that, and also beating Brock. So with my quote here, I am doing little, I guess, manifestos, because honestly this month has been pretty hard on me, and this is an example of where my mentality kind of took me. So I definitely went full on adult coloring book style on my cover page, and I was just in a really bad funk mentally, and I didn't realize how far I went with the coloring to the point it was kind of therapeutic, and I don't know how I feel about it. At this point of doing my bullet journal for this monthly setup, I kind of was in a better headspace, and you can kind of see how as I was doing my monthly setup, it started becoming a little bit more true to me. I don't know how to explain it, but I just felt like I was being in a better headspace compared to when I was doing my cover page. And honestly, I wish that kind of did my cover page a little bit different, but I'm one of those people that if I did something in the moment, it was for a reason, and I'm always the type of person that I like to look back and kind of see where I was at that, moment in time. And I actually want to keep it. Even though, surprisingly enough, on my cover page I wanted to do like watercolors and I totally failed at that, but I kind of wanted to do this very soft kind of like storybook look to it. And the only thing I can really think of that's very like comparable is, if you guys know Pokemon Dungeon, I know that like the newer like revamped versions kind of have this like storybook, very soft color hues and artwork going on, and I kind of wanted to do that, even though I've never played Pokemon Dungeon. I just as a kid was never interested because I'm a very like cookie cutter person, and growing up I'm like, no, Pokemon, you literally are supposed to play it as an RPG. You're supposed to be a Pokemon trainer, get gym badges, win the league, and that's it. Now, becoming an actual Pokemon just didn't really sit well with me, so I never invested in it. I want to say thank you to the guys that do follow me over on Instagram, because I really was contemplating of not putting up a plan with me for April. I was very close actually not to posting, but I kind of, got some feedback from some people over there, and they really said some really encouraging things that made me feel a little bit better and made me feel a little bit more determined to get this video out for you guys. But I just want to say thank you to those that gave me very kind words and encouragement. Someone even said for me to do a break, and I thought it was a little bit funny, even though it was very nice of her to say so. I've only done bullet journaling for a little over a year now, so I feel like there isn't much to do a break on because it's only been a year and a half, not even. But I thought that was really cute, and I was thinking it's too early for a break, so the show must still go on, I would say. My playlist for the month of April is quite small, and that's because I've actually been listening to these songs non-stop when I can, especially one being Japanese city pop. And if you don't know what that is, basically it's from like late 1970s. It was popular in the 80s, and pretty much it's, to me at least, it's like a mix of pop music with some like retro disco. I don't even know how to describe it, but if anything, I really recommend you guys listening to Stay With Me. That is like chef kiss, so good. I play it on repeat all the time, and it's just really good. And when I first heard it, I told my boyfriend, I'm like, does this make you think that it's a vintage anime ending theme song? Like, for the people who watch anime, they definitely know what I'm talking about, but it sounds like it could be a very old anime theme song or an ending song, and it's just so good that I listen to it all the time. when it came to picking out the Pokemon for the theme, I really didn't have anything like set in stone as like a requirement of what I wanted. So pretty much I wanted to have a little bit of everybody from like all the games try to be compiled into one theme. I know that sounds really hard, but pretty much I wanted to go with, you know, Pokemon that were actually small enough to where I can do multiple of, but also to where it wouldn't be too hard to draw, because this is actually my first time really drawing like Pokemon successfully. Like as a kid I tried drawing Pikachu, and like we shall not speak of those times, but with this I tried to do a little bit of everything. So I incorporated Pokemon from like the Kanto region all the way up to like Unova, Kalos, like there's just a whole bunch. I did a little bit of like Pokemon Sword and Shield, but because most of the Pokemon are actually from previous, you know, Pokédexes, I don't know how you call it, but because most of it is already Pokemon that has been known, there aren't a lot of new ones that I can really draw without it taking up a whole page. So I pretty much just picked whatever I thought would be easy to draw, pretty much what the color scheme would look good with, because my primary colors are the 2 shades of blue and yellow. I didn't want to do something that would be like overly too blue, overly too yellow, so I did break it up with using different colors from the Pokemon themselves. For the first time ever, I actually didn't do a mood tracker or an energy tracker or anything in between, just because I promised myself for the month of March that I would at least be accountable for one, and honestly it only lasted about a few days and I felt really bad about it. But for the month of March it was pretty tough for me, to where I didn't really use my bullet journal, and that's kind of a big thing for me because I actually find enjoyment from my journal, and for me not wanting to do anything with it, it kind of speaks volume. And pretty much I just wanted to focus more on the bare necessities, which is sticking to my habit tracker and making sure that I do my task and pretty much like keep accountability in a sense. And so I didn't want to be so caught up with me needing to adhere to a mood tracker or an energy tracker or anything like those things, because it's not what made me happy last month. So I kind of want to see what I can do differently for this month. Finally, we have arrived to the weekly spread, and I kind of felt a little wrong just because I didn't do a mood tracker, but I really wanted to make up for the fact that I don't have one. So I pretty much went a little gung-ho for this weekly spread, and basically I decided to incorporate a mini calendar because sometimes I do like having a visual calendar, but also I wanted to put a section for tasks because I really wanted to get the responsibility of being able to hold myself accountable by having a visual list of tasks that don't really have a set date or time frame, but just something I should be aware of. And I pretty much kept the layout a little bit more free flow structure. So definitely I made the boxes a little bit more skinnier, but still follow the same pattern. Here, I know I messed up. I put the wrong numbers. And of course, even though I have a calendar in front of me, I didn't bother to look, but I did change that off camera. for the scene that I wanted to do, I really wanted to basically capture a very like sweet but humble scene. And I did that by doing a little bit more with the lanterns and giving the Pokemon a little bit more expression, or I guess feeling towards the incredibility of lanterns. I don't know, to me I feel like lanterns, I don't really encounter it all that often in my personal life. So something like this, if I was to like imagine myself in this scene, I pretty much will be like wowed or a little bit moved in a good way, just based on the subtleness of the lanterns. I don't know how to explain it. It's just I don't really find myself in those situations, so definitely it would be breathtaking for me. Surprisingly enough, I really wanted to have Skitty in this weekly spread more than anything, just because as a kid I accidentally found Skitty when I would play Pokemon Emerald, and I remember I forgot to save it that night, and when I went to sleep the thing died, and I tried to recharge it, turned it on, it was gone, and it really disappointed me. So I'm like, listen, I need to have Skitty in this weekly spread. So I did do that, and then I did incorporate Whimsicott, and I don't even know the name of the other one, just because I am a little bit more well versed with the older Pokemon series than the newer one. So if anything, I'm sorry. I wanted to do one last quote for my weekly spread, and pretty much I picked be yourself, everyone else is already taken, and I really wanted a little bit of a reminder to myself that it's okay to be stressed at times and not to really kick myself in the butt too hard. And here's a final flip through for the month of April, and I'm so happy that this actually took me back to my childhood memories, because Pokemon was a big thing growing up for me, and even till this day it's still something I personally enjoy, and I'm so glad that I was able to do it for a theme in my bullet journal, and hopefully you guys like it too, because it's just a part of me that I love to share with you guys.